Call over November Park and Rec meeting for Atherton. Can I get the roll call, please?
Committee member Hunter,
Present.
Chair Key,
Here.
committee member Keller.
Here.
Committee member Merrill,
Here.
committee member Robinson,
Here.
committee member or vice chair Robinson,
Here.
committee member Rozier,
Present.
and council liaison DeGolia.
Okay, are there any public comments online?
Nothing online.
Okay, seeing nothing in the room, we'll move on to the October minutes for approval. You all have the minutes set in your inboxes. Are there any updates or requested changes? Seeing none, do I have a motion?
I move to approve the minutes.
Second. Okay, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any abstentions or nays? Okay, all voted in favor. No presentations this month. So why don't we start with the regular agenda and 5-day pickleball update. Will, can you kick us off?
Yes. Good evening, everybody. Just wanted to, first thing about the pickleball, the court number 1 has been completed as of about 2 weeks ago. The court was resurfaced, 4 pickleball courts with 4 brand new nets and 1 tennis court stripe. So it's been up and running as of about a week and a half ago. So everybody seems pretty happy with it. Seems to be getting a lot of use. The new nets and everything are working well, so everything's good.
Looks beautiful, by the way.
Great.
Really nicely done.
Thank you.
Anything else or?
That's all with that. I know that there was, I provided an extra sheet to you guys. I think Robert did also. I printed them out for you, just to kind of go over the next steps. I'm not sure if there was a subcommittee about this that wanted to talk first, but I have that paperwork kind of out for you guys that just kind of shows the rough order of magnitude cost estimates about everything. The kind of options that we had talked about a few months ago before deciding to do the conversion of court number 1 to pickleball and tennis. So that's all laid out for you guys. So if you have any questions or anything.
Well, actually, the thing that was distributed was so that we could get a better handle on what the cost might be.
Yeah.
To just the the handball court conversion. We have that. It's rather, that's rather quite a interesting list. Robert noted that there's lots of unknowns here. And question is, can you guys get somebody who would come in and be a contractor, at least look at it and say, this is what I would do? Or if Don thinks we can use this and go out and raise money, then we could do that too.
I would think we need a little bit more detail. Rick, you know better, but I would think we need a little more detail to make people feel comfortable that it really is gonna work and almost stake it off as well so that we know that it works.
So, for the subcommittee, what did you want to come back to the public or to us? Did you want to come back with a couple proposals or 3 proposals or?
Well, we don't know what we want to come back with. We
Okay.
haven't had a chance to have a meeting since we got this information
Oh.
about 48 hours ago.
Okay,
And, but I think that's what Don says, and I think, Rick is in agreement. We just need more firm information. And the question is, how are we gonna get that? So we can go to people, or do you think, Rick, person that's willing to fund this whole thing would be content with that? I wouldn't.
Okay.
so do you want to?
She's not willing to fund the whole thing. I don't know exactly what her limit is, but, we had talked about $100,000 and she had said she might be able to do more than that, but that was last year and it's a family foundation, so, you know, when we're ready to ask her, I think your comment is well taken. We need to get, the ideal thing I think would be a bid. So we'd have a real amount.
But the bid would take quite a bit of work from a contract. They'd actually,
Somebody'd have to
yeah,
do
I
some
mean, they
work.
would be contractually obligated if the town accepted the bid, right? Yeah, so they would have to do a lot of due diligence, and that's a lot of work on it.
Well, or we could maybe step back a little bit and say, we're looking at this. And frankly, we would perhaps even recommend a person who took that much trouble to come out and do this. But I don't think we have to make them say, the number you put out here, which would probably be a range anyway.
Yeah.
Is something that if you put it out there, you're committed to do this job.
Yeah, yeah,
I think that's a little much, right?
okay.
I agree with that.
It's a good idea, but I think you might have the court before, court, so.
Bob?
So we have all of these estimates in a range of what we might spend. But if somebody's gonna give money, don't we have to say we're gonna do, we think we should do this one? We have to pick one.
Pick one what?
One of the
Pick one of
options.
these.
Oh, no, we already picked it.
What is it?
The handball court, conversion.
It's the handball curriculum.
That's what we're talking about.
Okay, so that's what you're gonna go with.
So is
Right,
it,
yeah,
okay.
That's already been decided. It went to
Okay,
council on
okay.
that concern.
What did they say?
Council said we were free, and they would encourage us to go out and see if we could get individuals to fund the handball court conversion.
So,
Okay, so we have to have somebody.
Well, not just individuals, but we
No,
need
I
to
mean,
get
any
funding.
source, you're right.
We need to get funding somehow, and somewhere around $387,000.
yeah, that,
Well-
that is the deficiency of, we've chosen the most expensive model for the fewest courts. You only get 2 courts and you pay the most, unless we
Well,
keep.
so you're saying we haven't made the
No.
decision?
No, you got the,
We're
Well-
either gonna make a decision or we're not gonna make a decision.
you have the tennis court full time.
If you're converting court 1 back to tennis court.
Yeah.
Okay,
Well, I don't know if that's included because Don will need more than 2 courts. That's how we got our issue last time on court 1.
Is this for?
So we have to have
This
court
whole
ones.
handball court conversion is one court,
the handball conversion is 2 pickleball courts.
typical.
Yeah, 2 pickleball courts, yeah.
And then we would have very limited time we would need on court 1, but certainly sometime, because that's how we got to what we recommended, which is to get more than 2 courts for pickleball.
So the ones that have already been converted stay.
Yes.
So I think we all want clarification, right?
Yes, my understanding
Just court
that
one.
what was discussed both at this committee and at the council was that we would convert court 1 to be 4 pickleball courts with the existing limited amount of time on those courts, which is a fair amount of time. And the adjustment that if somebody reserved one of those courts and there was another tennis court available, that Michael would move that reservation off the pickleball courts to that other tennis court. But the time periods that are in effect for pickleball use on court 1 would still be in effect. It's just that there would be 4 courts there, which I think there are now. And my understanding was that it was agreed that we would not attempt to convert the clay court, but we would attempt to build 2 permanent pickleball courts on the handball court, which involves moving the shed a little bit, making it big enough so that they're comfortable, 2 pickleball courts there. And this proposal is a pretty rough
It's a
proposal,
pretty rough
right?
draft, yeah.
It's basically staff not going out to third parties, but staff making an estimate on what the different costs are. And I think that what Don and Walter brought up is accurate, that if we're gonna really go out and raise money, we're not gonna raise the money, but some, I'm aware of one woman who has proposed to make a substantial donation from her family foundation, but it's not in the $200,000 range. It was initially in the $100,000 range, and I tried to push her to 150, and her response was, well, when you're ready, which we're not, because we don't have the real numbers, she'll see what she can do. So money, we all know when people make donations of money, lots of things are said, and it's only when money passes from one party to another that you know what's happening. So I think the idea of getting more firm estimate is good, because ultimately it seems to me that the best thing would be for a number of people who are really committed to pickleball to try to put together a fundraising opportunity, which the town and this committee can't do, but privately, anybody can do it. And it's tax deductible, 100%. But I think the idea of getting more
Detail.
real targeted costs would be very helpful to make that happen.
Can we ask Saviano, since they've done a lot of work for us and potentially this could be work for them in the future, to do an estimate for us?
I don't know, I have to check with Robert, I'm not
Okay.
sure if Saviano would do estimate for that kind of stuff, or not,
Okay.
I could ask him, but I'm not
Okay.
sure, I'd have to check and see if that's possible.
Somebody like that would be,
Yeah,
somebody that sees work in their future.
yeah, because they're the ones who did the resurfacing, right? Both the original tennis courts as well as this recent one, yeah, so they're familiar with the town.
I think that's a good suggestion.
Yeah,
I mean, the reality is, our staff has a pretty good sense of some of this stuff, like, you know, what we've done on court one, the actual surfacing and the cost of the nets and the cost of the baffling. I think staff probably has a very firm feeling for what that cost would be, but we need someone who's gonna, you know, completely work on the parcel to give us some more firm.
And I would say it's cost plus feasibility, just making sure that that space works.
Mhm.
Uh,
Yeah, I know we're all assuming
Yeah.
that it can be done, but
and that's something the contractor would do.
Yeah.
Obviously.
And that's something the staff is, you know, part of it is getting the donation and then being able to get a design pro. And, you know, we're looking more for staff wise as a turnkey situation where, you know, we can, you know, handle the permits and stuff like that, but design and construction will be on whatever donation amount you guys can get and stuff like that. We wouldn't be involved in that stuff.
Will, would you get for us the number that we paid for baffling? We know that, and it wasn't very long ago.
Yeah. I can
So
get
we
that
can
done.
certainly narrow that. We also know what you just paid for nets and so on.
Resurfacing.
The
And
resurfacing, yeah,
resurfacing,
I
so
know that amount, yeah.
Rick is right, that's a fairly minor part, unfortunately, of what we're talking about.
The biggest part of it is the, you know, the grading and then, you know,
Right.
all of that kind of stuff.
Bringing in fill and compacting the whole thing.
Yes, the walls we have to put in, the change of grading.
Well, I think the suggestion of seeing if Saviano would be willing to give us an estimate is a good suggestion.
That's very good.
And if we could ask them how much a clay to hardcore conversion would cost. Because if it does come in lower than we expect, you know, maybe we convert that clay court back to hardcore.
Well, we've already said all
We're
that
past
stuff.
that.
We've
Okay,
gone through that.
okay,
Yeah, we
okay.
can't go
Look
back.
at the council.
The council's already decided that court number one conversion was the way that we were gonna try.
Okay, okay, I'm just saying, we don't know the exact cost, if our estimate is, so right now, the reason why I'm pointing that out is because estimate number 3 is very high. And if we tell the pickleball players, they have to raise money to hit that number, and they can't get anything else. They're gonna ask us, why do we, how about a clay court conversion, you know, that's gonna cost a lot less, how come we didn't investigate that?
We went through that. We don't have enough courts for tennis when we do that. We discussed this at
Clay courts,
length.
but clay court's being underused right now.
We
I
went
know,
through
but that was already been
We took
decided.
it to council.
Okay. I'm just saying it's gonna be a big cost difference.
Well, that's.
If you're expecting
If
outside
not,
party.
we stayed with 4 courts where we have them. That was your great suggestion. You were right.
Okay, well, that's for this temporary solution right now.
Well, you're
We'll see how
right.
it works out. Okay, very well. Is there anything else? Oh,
I
please,
just have a
Rob.
question. On the handball court conversion, do we know that they will fit there?
Well, that's what Don just said.
No, I mean, who cares about how much it costs if you can't fit it?
Well, we measured that out.
we know they.
Okay.
Robert measured that
Yeah,
out.
all I wanna know is, do we know they'll fit?
That's what the contractor could look at as well, as stake it out, and make sure that it.
We can measure things, and find
It's
out.
already been done.
It's already
It's already been done.
Okay,
The
and
staff
it-
has
and it
looked at
fits.
that and said it would work.
Okay, that's all I
I
wanted
did
to
that
know.
too.
All I wanted to know. Okay.
I think we'll walk around.
Okay. Is there anything else on this topic?
So what should we do with this? Is we should try to find a contractor, Saviano's a good choice. Is there another alternative to that we should think about?
You can get a second opinion, but
Well, I'm not saying a second opinion, just a lineup of, if Saviano says, I don't do this, where can we find others? Are there others that work for
It would have to
Athens?
be research from the subcommittee to find that,
okay,
yeah,
fine.
so, yeah.
Were there other people that put in bids for the resurfacing?
There was one other company, yeah, but they don't do complete stuff, they just do resurface, they don't build
Okay.
court or anything like that, yeah.
So I don't know if we could ask Saviano who they know in the industry who does.
Right. Ask them.
Yeah,
So the goal is to find, maybe, we will find a contractor that can do this without charge, hopefully, with the hope
Give
of
us
getting the
a
work.
rough estimate.
Yeah, I'll give,
Which will be a
I'll
little
give
more-
Saviano a call and then information to the subcommittee for you guys to research and figure out.
And you might look at, obviously Circus Club did one not too many years ago. Doesn't have quite the same slope problem. And obviously a lot of pickleball courts have been built.
Where was that?
circus.
Circus Club?
Circus Club, yeah.
Yeah,
It's one that had to be abandoned.
yeah. They've done it fairly recently.
Yeah, well, that
Couple
was several years
years
ago,
ago.
right. We
2 or
looked
3
at
years
sound,
Years.
measurements there when we were doing all
The
the
baffling.
work, exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, if there's nothing else on 5A, we'll move on to the 5B, the Jennings Pavilion lighting.
So I was able to meet with, Post Lighting a couple weeks ago. We did a walk around, some measurements, going off of what the subcommittee had chosen, that was passed around the lighting situation in there with the different.
Do you want me to
I have a
pass
picture of it
around
here.
this? Do you want me to pass around my phone?
No, I have a thing, I'll pass around to you guys. Of the ones the subcommittee had chosen and we had talked about, I have a rough estimate from them of chandeliers and changing out the light bulbs inside of the, little, wall stuff to kind of match that stuff. They also provided alternative ones that look similar, just in case we didn't want to go with that would do like the same kind of brightness and adjustability and stuff like that, so I'll pass around everything. Right now, the estimated cost just for the changing out the light bulbs and the 5 different chandeliers, not including installation, is $26,000.
26 though?
Yeah. I'll pass this around and you guys can take a look at them.
That's what that labor.
And then which one is the primary?
The primary is the
Well,
one on
that's
the
a-
right.
Well, that's including installation?
No, that's not included. We would have to hire a electrician to install it.
And then what would be your estimate for electrician cost?
I'll have to meet with our electrician and stuff like that, probably anywhere from $5,000 to $10,000 more probably.
So very similar.
Yeah, exactly.
Do they all, is the estimate about the same for,
Yeah, they're all in a similar price range, it's just
Okay.
if the style, you guys didn't like or something, for some reason changed your mind, those are the ones that were in the same kind of.
Are these costs per chandelier? Oh, no, quantity of 4.
4 or 5?
It should be 5.
Think of 5, weren't
Did you put 4 on there? It should be
It
5.
says
it
4.
says 4.
It should be 4 or 5.
The prices are in here too.
Yeah, the prices are.
Okay, so the price would go up a little bit because he does have one of them.
Yeah, the price here is much cheaper because it's only, for 4 is only 5,500 and 7,600. And that's 22,000.
Yeah, 24.
Well, you gotta change that a little bit of lights too.
Unless this is each, unless it's priced for each, and then it would be about the
Then you're
same.
there, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Then it's a little confusing.
The tax included.
You guys have expensive taste.
It's got tax and
And
everything.
that is not expensive ones.
Oh, really?
5,000 a piece for.
No, it's not.
Does
an
Costco sells
expensive
chandeliers?
You know, names on it.
So our option is if, this seems
one. This is.
unreasonable, we can have the subcommittee start looking at other areas.
That was the.
42,000.
I think that was.
Well, I haven't bought chandeliers ever, so I mean, this is what chandeliers cost, this is what chandeliers cost.
Does anyone go down to Coast Lighting and just walk around? Hold on, I'm back up.
Well, which one? We were looking for one that was light enough, simple, that.
This.
Yeah, the one on its own is the primary, the
We
top,
didn't want one that had a lot
Yes, I was the one.
of.
And then the other ones are
And then
alternates.
collects.
Now that I'm thinking about it, it is only 4 chandeliers that are clean. It's not
It's only 4?
There's
Okay.
actually 4 in the corner, there's not one in the middle.
Okay.
All sorts of components, single
So that is the
balls,
right one.
That was, no, one of
Save this for another day.
And I was just thinking about it, I was like, well, there's only. And so that's all I have on that right now, so right now we're at a, you know, have to look at the budget to see how much money we have to do this work, and then also to see if this is something we get.
Is that it? Is that spider web potential?
Yeah, that's, I mean, see, there's, yeah, exactly, they're totally different.
Or dusty, yeah. We tried to find ones that you could easily dust, easily replace things.
Yeah, this thing.
Because, I mean, no one wants to stand on a ladder and dust.
Plus
it's hideous. Okay, this is the one we were
Too much.
thinking of. Yeah. As opposed to,
Oh, it just would take
Wants to
forever.
take
Take
all the involved.
a month to clean it.
no one wants to clean those.
So you're talking about this one.
Yes,
But it's not too dissimilar to these, honestly. I guess.
right, yeah, here, have me.
Oh,
Although these are less fancy.
I mean, these are pretty simple.
Yeah.
So is this the one
We were
Dorothy,
trying
that
to.
has both up above and down
Screw it
below?
up, all
Yes.
screwed up.
And the. both
that's
of
not
them
We've
what-
got single balls and all these other things hanging off of there, no way.
Yeah. So it's this one.
Yes,
The one on the very top, but it's not a very good picture of it, because
Top.
you can't see the,
Oh, so you wanna switch out to this one?
Well, that was
That
one they
is that
chose.
one.
Oh, that is that
We
one,
got
okay.
one of
but it is not, you can't see it real well because
Because
it's white
you see
on
it.
white paper.
I see.
This is what it looks like lit up.
Yeah, it looks
You
much
can
better
pass
lit
it,
up.
Yeah, you just keep pushing it.
So it's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
That's this one, right? This one is a
Looks
little
nice.
better than white on it. I mean, it's-
1, 2, yeah, 6, it's got 6.
you can see that one a little bit better.
Yeah, working.
That's the one.
No,
Primary, when it's lit up.
traveling all the.
Okay.
And the lighting tubes, but they're, what are they called?
Okay.
Are they called fuse? No, there's a certain little name for them. They're not called light bulbs anymore.
Did anyone else wanna take a look?
And they will last 20,000 hours.
Would you? Did ever do it?
Okay,
And it is made in Texas, so it should be available for replacements
okay.
more easily than if it was made in Europe. What else was it that we found out? Because I was thinking of when you order them, if you decide on these, we should get like 2 or 3 replacement,
We'll probably get more. than
Oh, the
that.
bulbs,
Yeah,
Just-
yeah.
or the,
the tubes.
Tubes.
I call them tubes, but they have a certain name for them.
Okay, is there a recommendation where just that primary one is the,
Yeah,
you're
the
shaking
one
your
that,
head and you're nodding?
yeah, the ones that we saw, that was the best that we saw, and then Will went on it with that, and then he got the,
Okay.
We were just trying to find the least complicated,
yes,
Okay,
simplest,
that would fit
simplest
that
to
room.
repair, simplest to replace the bulb.
Easiest to
Easiest to
clean.
clean. So that's what we did.
okay.
That's what we came up with.
So from my point is that, if you guys do agree on that, then I will move forward and look into the budgeting and costs and stuff like that, and I'll report back in the next meeting.
That was our recommendation.
Does it make sense to go to another lighting place? Just
I don't know, I mean, we could, you know, I mean, these guys are on
You
the
guys decide.
edge of Atherton, so they get a 30% markup just in
Exactly.
geography. Might be worth going to East San Jose, seeing what they got down there.
Not the many people need chandeliers in East San Jose.
I did look online, and the prices were,
Terrible.
yeah,
Okay,
comparable, and I looked up, lighting for convention center, meeting places, ballrooms, that type of thing. And most of those, light fixtures were like the many tiered chandeliers. And I didn't think we wanted to get involved with that.
I suspect the industry is a bit like, if you tell them it's for a wedding, the price goes up. Chandeliers is not a typical thing most houses
Right,
buy.
that,
so
I
the
just said
price will go.
lighting for convention.
Yes, lighting for convention would be
Yeah.
something maybe like this. and
Yeah.
It'll be much cheaper, but for a nice venue, I suppose that's what you need. Okay, I think that's the direction we'll go with then. If there's any other opinions, no. Thank you, guys. And then, do we need to, so you'll take a look into the cost, does it, will it come back to us?
Yeah, I'll bring it back to you guys and just.
With the final budget?
Yeah, final budget, and everything. I'll try to get that all together before the December meeting.
And then if we decide to move forward, then we'll go to council, whether they're gonna write budget for it.
Yes.
Five C? I think we're.
I just have two small updates about the playground bathroom and the playground itself. City council has approved the design and supplier of Romtech. They were given all the options of a remodel or to build a new bathroom, and they agreed that they wanted to go with the new bathroom. The agreement, they're still in works with the agreement, so there's no timetable yet. They'll need to get a contractor via bid. From what Robert and I talked about, they're hoping to bring something to council maybe this month or next month. And then, hopefully get something going, by January and find out. The approved budget for the bathroom is $850,000.
So that has to go back to council at this point?
No, they just need to find a contractor, because right now we have the suppliers, but now we have to go out and find the contractors
Right.
to actually build.
Does that then have to go to council?
I don't believe so. I think that just, they just need to be able
So
to find it.
that's-
We have to put it out in bid.
That's the bathroom.
Yeah, that's that.
Okay.
And then as far as the playground itself, the design is about 65% of the way done. Final pricing and supply and contractor, they're gonna talk about it this November meeting, so we'll have more of an update. So that's what Robert just gave me information about, so they're gonna have the council meeting mid-November, they're gonna hopefully figure out supply and contractor.
So last month, you said that by the 7th of this month, you would have 100% submitted for review. Is that kind of where we sit then?
We're at 65% for design. And
And that was to be done 65%. 60% was on September 26th. 90% was to be done by 10/24. And day after tomorrow, everything done.
right now, as of today, we're at 65%. That's what Robert reported to me.
And then when do they expect to be done? Is it this year for the design?
The information that I only have is 65% right now. Final pricing from Game Time, supply and contractor, they're gonna meet at the November meeting to find out, so hopefully by the end of the year.
Seems to be a project that never gets done.
And who's doing the design work?
I don't know who's doing that. I'm guessing Game Time. I'm not sure who the contractor is gonna be. Design is by Game Time.
But I just wondered about the design. We went through all this. I thought we had it all designed.
Yes, well, they're still, I think, picking out from what Scott, like all the finishes and all that kind of stuff's getting done, so that's where the design's going through.
I feel like. they
Wait,
have-
this schedule says the council is going to award the contract at our December meeting, so we
Right.
can't wait till the end of the year.
So if we're only 65% along,
No, so maybe that,
And then the hustle will last
You mean
40.
from the last
40%.
Yeah. that's
so
true.
what, I guess the breakdown is what? So we obviously, we didn't get the 90% for review by 10/24.
No, we didn't.
But do you have, when is that coming, or how can we find out?
I'll have to talk to Robert. From what I met with him this morning, he gave me those numbers. Design is at 65% right now.
So here's the risk is that we will miss the winter, spring window for construction. So that means we won't be able to start construction for the fall. I mean,
So a year from now?
because the people who build playgrounds
Contractors are
don't
busy.
do it during the summer.
Yep.
Because they are apparently years scheduled ahead of time for schools. Then the schools get their playgrounds upgraded during the
They
summer.
get dibs on it.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
we're talking a year from now, 10 months. from
Yeah,
now.
so if we miss the summer window, they're just not gonna start, they're just gonna wait till the fall.
Well, design is at 65%. From what he's saying, the final pricing from Game Time, supply and contractor is going to go to council in the November meeting, is what he told me. So.
Wait, at the November meeting?
Yeah, this one.
That's in 2 weeks.
That's what.
Well, there's a breakdown in information.
Yeah.
65%.
I mean, if these numbers were right, that would work, but these numbers aren't right because you've only at 65%.
The design part is at 65.
Okay.
I'll check with him tomorrow and just find out more information.
Okay, yeah, if you could send an email up
Yeah,
to us.
We're gonna do that.
No problem. Thank you. Okay, are there any questions or comments on the playground? Okay. Seeing none, I guess we can move on to 5D, the Brightview report.
The QSA is in the pamphlet. Any questions, please let me know.
Are there any questions or comments? Thank you. On the site assessment? You guys know that.
So what are we on?
We're on 5D, the QSA,
Okay,
the ground.
we're passing our goals, okay.
Did we pass it?
I don't know, I have mine at 5C goal.
Oh, I think you're looking
Yeah,
at.
sorry,
Yeah,
yeah,
that's
yeah, you're right.
5D. Right.
Yes.
Right. Any comments or questions? What, anything for the QSA? No. Okay, so why don't we move on to 6A, the Park Foundation. Right,
The fountain apparently has been cleaned and, the, fungi or whatever component thereof is not apparently done any lasting damage, looks fine.
Okay.
So, beyond that, what else do you have? Well,
Well, we did review the various things that are happening at the park, that's essentially.
Yeah.
Our review of Park and Rec.
right, I don't think we have anything else.
So basically, it was the algae in the fountain, and has two good days and bad days.
Oh, I know, the other, we're still looking for that, whatever's gonna be 12, 14 inch, whatever, little fence around the,
spiky fence.
around, well, we're not gonna do a spike, we're gonna do a little round, that little round type, and we're trying to
Okay.
see if we can get it cut down to fit into that. We don't wanna be tall enough that it blocks the aesthetics of the part of the fountain, we just want something to keep the little darlings out of the bottom.
Was the town looking for that?
Huh?
We have
talked
power
about it.
there, right?
We've talked about that the last couple of months,
Oh.
and, well, I don't have
That's
that
a clean
picture
energy.
with me,
Sorry.
but I think we're
We're
still looking for that, right, Will?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'll do some little more research.
We had to get him to modify it, if I remember, because it comes in all
Yeah, it
color
comes
sets,
taller,
we're gonna have
so-
to get it that packet down here.
I'll contact the Finns
Yeah.
company tomorrow.
Okay, anything else, folks to say to any members?
Well, I'd say on the goals, on goal 3. I'd rather see the goal not be investigate, but actually do the handball court conversion. And that's what we've been putting all of these things off and off. Never get to
Okay,
But wait a minute, where are you?
he's looking at the minutes,
number, under 5E, number 3.
under the minutes from last month.
Oh, that's
Oh,
what
is that, is that minutes?
Gotcha.
Yeah, which is
That's fine.
Oh,
fine.
I'm sorry, you're right.
But that's okay, that's, the committee can take that as feedback in terms of. The goal.
Okay, sorry.
No, no problem. 6B, Park Division, why don't we do 6B and 6C together?
Okay, so the park divisional report and the event report is both inside the packet. Just to go through a couple of projects, when we were doing our walk around, a couple of things were pointed out that we took care of. The stairway at the main house going upstairs We ripped out a big portion of the stairs and replaced it with new wood, got new, sandpaper stuff for traction and everything like that, so it's all been pretty much rebuilt.
What was it, rotted or?
It was started to get rotted out and started peeling away, so instead of just trying to paint over it and stuff like that, we just replaced it.
Page 6.
So that's all done. We put the sand station out, so it's out for the residents for the rainy season. Obviously, court number 1 was resurfaced with the four brand new pickleball nets. And then we also included brand new trash cans as, Robert had asked about on all the courts. So those are all done. We worked on the courtyard building, even though it's on here being repaired, it was completed, it's done. It will be on next month's report, but it is all finished up and fixed and looks great. So that part of it's done.
And think about, it, you don't have to trip over the water fountain in there anymore.
I know, it's nice. We just got all the trees and plants and stuff like that.
Did you,
Park events, you can see the rentals for the month, they were down a little bit. Revenue was down dramatically. September, we had a lot of different, big groups come in and do a whole bunch of stuff. We did have some social gatherings, some day use rentals and stuff like that. Tennis court numbers are on there. Weather wasn't the best, but everything pretty much kind of normed till last year.
You had a question?
have you had a chance to look at the locks on the tennis court?
So what, I'm sorry, yeah, the lot, that's what we're gonna work on next.
Okay.
I'm getting there, yeah. We're trying to get the other stuff done.
That's on the,
Locks,
okay,
yeah.
that's fine.
We started working on some of them. We're working right now with the gutter on the clay court. We're gonna be clearing that out, the one on the side of drainage. And then replacing the grates on top that are all rusted and
They
rotted.
rusted and got up. Yeah, they
Yeah,
almost
we're gonna
got-
get,
they're
we're
almost
replacing those
gone.
with like plastic or something that might not rust and
Oh,
rot.
yeah.
So, yeah, we're working on that now.
Okay.
Walt, did you have a question about the event planner?
Yes. I have information about the event planner.
Okay,
Yeah,
good. I want to hear that.
I'm waiting, yeah.
It's still gonna be a waiting game. So we got two bids in. We are currently still working on our asset management. Our management analyst, Ben, that was hired on, left a couple weeks ago. So Robert and I are still working on the asset management, but we do have 2 people. I'm gonna be scheduling out a meeting, and we will hopefully have some more information and a candidate to bring to the council, because we don't know if the council wants to be able to sample their food for catering or whatever it is. Hopefully have something by the end of the year. So that's kind of where we're at right now. So we're finishing up the asset management, and we've already scored out both of the companies. They both meet the criteria. We're gonna meet with them individually and, go through everything, and then possibly bring it to council to see if they want to test out anything from them, and then hopefully have a choice by the end of the year.
Just to be clear, the asset management has nothing to do with this issue, other than it's occupying all
Yes.
Will's and Robert's time.
Asset
that's-
management is a big part of our public works work, and it's a huge thing to help us do what we do on a daily basis. And we had 26 submissions that we had to go through. It was really time consuming, narrowed it down to 6. Now we're gonna narrow it down to 2. So we're working on that and trying to get the event one next. So that's where we stand at it.
Well, what is the asset management?
Asset management covers everything that we have. So right now, everything that we do is pen and paper. So it's files
You
and
mean
stuff like that.
it's management of all of the town's assets?
Yeah, so building, well, right now, our implementation phase is gonna be all of our facilities, which will be everything at town center and the library and everything at the park. So all the buildings, HVAC, anything that has to do with buildings.
So basically you're recording what the town has in
Yeah, so
physical
it's gonna be a more efficient way for us to do work orders and get work done. When things are brought in from C-Click Fix, it will be integrated in there where I'll be able to manage it a little better, and things will go a little more seamlessly, things will get done a little faster, so.
It's kind of more urgent to do than.
We're trying to do that. It's also gonna help us like a cost manager. We'll be able to, see our cost as we're doing things and be able to, get closer to our budgets and work more efficiently.
So as I understand it, also, Will, the management analyst, if that's what he's called, was supposed to look at these bids, and he's quit now. So we don't have that. So that's why you and Robert have got to take on that job, which then delays it because of that. I would
Well,
point,
our asset management, our management analyst, Ben, was working with me. He was
Right.
he's more of the admin part of the thing. He was working with me. He decided to leave, so now that we did score everything, but when it comes to next steps and demos, Robert and I have been going through that the last couple of weeks. And
well,
so,
if you look at those two bids and you look at the RFP, which are actually very interesting. Because these two bids are very different than Cater 2, if you remember who the caterer was. They were experienced in being on site and also doing some marketing. These two people are essentially caterers. They've never been on site at a park like ours. They have catered a lot of big jobs, but the real question is, can they step up their game and do this? And frankly, yes, in my view, looking at it, something is better than nothing. But it's going to be a real risk for the 3-year contract that we're going to sign as to how effective they're going to be. And that's why Robert and Will are going to talk to these people about a variety of things, including what they want, which is considerably more than what Cater 2 wanted. That is the share of everything that we will get versus what they get. One of the outfits is from South Bay, one of them is from up in Burlingame. As I say, they have a list of major places where they've been, and a variety of parks, a variety of places that they've done catering. But that's where they've already got a contract. They come in, I think somebody hires them and they do that. Here, the marketing is, in my view, the major issue. And so the one particular, I don't think has ever had, neither have ever had an actual person on site. What we asked for in the RFP is like Cater 2. Somebody will be at that park 2 days a week, so Dorothy doesn't have to have that job. But these people never had anything like that. So we got some really interesting issues to explore before you decide exactly what you're gonna do.
In their bid, do they say they're gonna have someone at the park?
They do.
They do.
Because we said that's what you have to have.
I have a question. What is the reasoning, and maybe Will knows this, that the town wants to hire a caterer as opposed to an event planner?
we've asked for everything and this is what's come back. So these were the two people that came.
So
They just happened to
an
be
event
caterers.
planner did not step forward.
No, we sent out the RFP to event planners, caterers, hotels, anything that we could, hospitality, whatever, and these are the two that responded back.
And you may remember, we sent it out before.
2 or 3 times.
Yeah, we
Right.
got no
Right.
responses, so
Got
this
zero.
time we got a couple.
This time we got a couple live ones.
It's because I do know if there was someone in that office, maybe every 6 weeks now, because it's dwindled down. People have come into the art room when I'm there on, during the week or on weekends and say, hey, I want to see upstairs, I want to see the stuff. Why isn't anyone upstairs that has the word office or something? And I just direct them to the town center here. Because if there was somebody there with designated office hours and it was posted, I think it would be a benefit.
I do want to say.
That's why we required it. It's part of the bid.
That's
So-
why we're
Yeah, they said they're going to staff it, so
twice, 2 days, because that's what we had
Well,
before.
then will that person be there when there are events in the park so they know that the doors get locked?
They are.
Because I have.
They would have to be there for every event in the park. One of them would actually donate 15 hours a month for any event there, regardless of whether they're catering it or
Okay,
making
to
a
be
dime
sure
off of
everything
it.
is locked up.
No.
'Cause
And
I
the
have come in,
RFP
the
is very
doors are
well,
wide
the
open and
RFP is very well done in my view. Because it really spells out what we want. And the responses are pretty responsive in that area, other than they are reaching, A, they're inexperienced in this area, and B, that is the area of being on site and doing things like marketing, I think. And B, there's of course an issue of the type of food. One of them is a Latin and Asian outfit. And so that's where Robert tells me that the council will want to try the food.
We know what that is, we'll come back to you. Make sure it's okay.
Public comments.
Anyway,
So if a caterer is hired, the people who then rent the pavilion for a wedding or bridal reception are required to use that catering?
And only over 50 people is what what was had before, and that's what's out in the
Oh,
RFP.
okay,
Otherwise, under 50, they get to choose.
you get to choose their own.
They also, however, get a portion of everything, anybody who rents that, any place in the park, whether they were responsible for it or not. Yeah. Which is what we've done before, well, sort of did it before.
Okay, in terms of the sandbag station, is it possible to have it in the future next season in another area? Because where it is right now, close to the tennis courts, it's just kind of prime parking space. People wanna do tennis or pickleball or use the area of the park, wanna park that area. But if it maybe were moved to where the compost pile is,
But we can't put it in the compost piles or anything like that because it needs to be on solid ground because the sand will just go right into the soil
okay,
and stuff like that. And people need to be able to drive up to it and get onto it and, you know, scoop it out and everything like that and fill the sandbags. And so we don't wanna get that all over the soil and everything like that. We might be able to look into a different
yeah,
parking
if there's
spot.
another solid ground area, because I know that, right now it's not as bad because there's no baseball going on, but once baseball season comes.
Well, it's gone once the baseball season goes. It's only here for the next, 3 to 4 months. And then once baseball season goes, that goes away. So-
If we do it, have events in Jennings Pavilion. and stuff.
Baseball season starts in February.
Yeah, the fences and stuff go up in like March, so that will be out of there by March, so, yeah. It's
But
really just not for
if
the
you do
winter.
find an area, it's better not looking for parking, because that area, parking is getting to be a premium, it's probably something we'll look at when we do the master plan.
Okay.
Figure out how we can extend some parking. Was there a redwood tree cut down in the redwood grove, or? It
Not
just
that
feel
I'm
like,
aware of. I'll talk to-
on the walking path there, felt like there was a tree.
I know that West Coast Arborist was out doing tree trimming and stuff like that over the last month or so, but I don't know if anything cut, I can find out from
Okay.
Sally.
I just felt like walking past one of the trees that was missing when I used to seeing a tree there. There was definitely a cut log there. And then one thing I noticed, we have a lot of reservations for theater games, nativity baseball practice, which they're playing baseball now, I guess.
No, that's all over with now, that was. Yeah.
Oh, that was last month,
Yeah.
okay. Dog training, library, yoga, player capital at the main house. How much do we charge for? Because these events are not normal events that you include on the event calendar.
Yeah, these are like day use type stuff.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what the player capital one is, I'll check with Michael. I don't know. the
He
price.
rented out one of the houses, I think the main house, but
Yeah, I've already had a complaint about that,
Oh,
the jumping and the pounding on the floors.
because it's above you.
Yeah.
Okay.
It wasn't my class, it was another class.
yeah, just have them send an email or something to Michael about it.
Yeah. Seems to me the pavilion would be better. Because there's no one upstairs, downstairs in this a bigger area. And that, I should mention that, I have not put the pictures back up in the main house until there is someone present. That is there because we have had some damage. And I have seen them on the floor. It's just, I don't feel that it's a safe place. And then now when I see the tennis, I go, if it's kids, why are the kids at a place where there's any artwork? It's just, and there's a bigger, wider area that's open. So that's what's happening for that.
I'll find out the information about that.
So my question is more, how much do we charge for that usage? Because I don't, because it's not part of the event reservations, but they are reserving it, I think, for private classes, so.
Yeah, I'll have to
It's
find
not
out,
prices
yeah,
either.
I'll have to find out the prices for that, I don't know it off the top of my head.
That's all right. Thanks, Lou. That's all I had. Good, why don't we move on to last item, which is member comments? Do we have any comments?
I would like to find out on recent events, since a couple hours ago, the issue of charging stations in the park was, I believe, before council. And I noticed it's interesting where they're going to put them if they were approved.
Yeah, they were approved some time ago.
Yeah.
The discussion at today's meeting was whether we were going to put up signs at each of those parking stations, that if, someone is not actively charging, that it'll be enforced. And the decision was made to put up those signs,
For
the
all
same signs
four?
we have here, yeah.
All four?
Yeah.
Okay. I saw one diagram that would have it on two, but not on the other two.
Yeah, it was proposed that we not put up the signs, that the council voted 3-2 to put up the signs.
That's interesting because we've in the past had some question about what the need really was over there.
There remains that question.
The fortunate thing is they are not in the busiest part of the parking.
Exactly.
Okay.
They're just.
Yeah,
near the
they're
exit.
where the temporary building used to be, because we put in, the utilities for that building. And they're using that utility connection for all 4 of these charging stations.
Okay, that's good.
The issue is you have to put the stencils on the ground that says EV charging. You don't have to put up the signs that says that, if there are cars parked here who aren't charging, there'll be enforcement. Staff recommended that we not put up the signs, that we wait and see how much they're used. 2 of us supported that and 3 didn't. The reality is, whether we put up the signs or not, police doesn't enforce it. So,
Right outside the Chiefs.
This is,
yeah, so they don't enforce it here
Okay.
and they don't enforce it there unless someone complains.
this is adding 2 more, but where the 2 are.
In the park, there's none.
Who pays for that? Does the car owner put in their credit card to
Where are
pay?
the-
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah, the charging will be the same over there as it is here. Which is the automobile owner puts in
There's 2
their,
here.
in this case, a charge point card.
2 there.
And they're charged 32
Where-
cents a
where-
kilowatt hour, and after 2 hours, an additional $2 an hour.
Yeah, none that I know.
Right, okay.
But there's 4 here, right? 2 over here.
There's 4
Yeah,
here,
and
2 over here and 2 over
Okay,
here, and there'll be 4 in the park, all right at that same
yeah.
location.
All together.
Yeah,
What location is that?
where, there's a utility box,
Remember?
in the parking lot next to where the temporary, staff building was.
Right by the
Oh,
temporary
by
town
the
center.
Gilmore House?
Yeah.
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 Maybe if you put it in front of the Chiefs house, he would be able to enforce. it. So, get out of here, get away from my house.
The one thing I have noticed is,
For $5,000
I won't
to
say.
get your car back.
Oh, go ahead.
I was
Well,
over there the
I don't
other
know.
day, and people are complaining about the lack of parking where they want to park, which is over by Jennings.
Over by,
Jennings.
Jennings, in other
yeah,
words.
yeah,
where
that's
everybody
the
wants to
demand.
park.
And these spots are not there, so, so the observation that these are in the least demanded area in the park is accurate.
It is, but when we.
It
fill
really
up-
only becomes a problem when we do a big event.
Yeah, well, exactly, or now people are saying we're driving people over there from the library, which we are, trying to get
Theoretically.
them more use there. And somebody was at a garden club meeting and came out and said, I can only find 1 spot here. Well, of course, older people want to park close to Jennings.
Yeah.
And so we need to at least be sure we have enough, as they say, for every
Okay.
demand.
I'm being reminded that this is not on the agenda, so.
This is a personal comment.
Individual comment, it's not really supposed to be a back and forth, but, so let's keep it sparse, if you want, that's okay.
I just had a question, Will, how did our Eagle Scout troop clean up the canal?
I never heard back from him.
He cleaned up, he got a whole bunch of stuff out of it.
Okay, yeah, I found a big pile over there,
Yeah.
so I'm guessing that's what it was, so it was a good job, yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, he never contacted me or told me he was coming,
Okay.
never let the
Told
police
us,
know.
pretty no good, no good.
Yeah, so we thought at first that it was somebody dumped illegally some
No.
stuff, but I figured out it was.
Get 5 kids with them. So, kind of crew.
So, Robert,
Question for Will, who's responsible for cleaning the tennis courts and pickleball courts?
The landscaping crew does,
Landscaping crew?
yeah, they blow off the courts and stuff like that.
Okay, and they do that all,
twice a week should be.
Yeah, twice a week.
Also remind them to.
Drew's not getting it done, I'm there 3 times a week and it's not done at all.
That's not our landscaping crew, that's,
Who do I talk to?
It
about
must
that?
become very low on
the
that.
sweeping,
list of things to
we
do.
don't have any janitorial inside of Jenny's unless there's moving. So right now I have our maintenance crew trying to clean it on Thursdays before yoga and stuff like that, but
Okay.
it's not part of the janitorial stuff like
You know,
that.
even if they, even if they're, you know, one of those big flat balloons that they can just leave, and I try to get there early and sweep it. It's great to put your hat down.
I have one comment that an EPC member asked me to mention to all of you that in November, they will vote on a recommendation for town use of more electrical garden equipment at Oklahoma Park besides the electric leaf blowers. But they don't have a specific equipment plan, they will try first, but they just want to encourage the town to use more electric. If there's nothing else, I will adjourn this meeting.
Let's go move.
Okay. See you guys next month.
We gotta